Brian. Great to see you. Thanks for coming into the Light Reading offices today.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here.
Obviously, Light Reading is very familiar with A10, but for those of our audience that aren't so familiar, just tell us a little bit about the company.
Oh, certainly, Steve. So A10 was founded back in 2004. We became a publicly traded company in 2014. So we're a global company. We have currently over 850 employees in 27 different countries. And our customer base today is a little over 5,000 customers spanning 72 different countries.
Wow.
So A10 supports application delivery, security, and carrier-grade NAT products and solutions.
What do you find that most of your service provider customers are most concerned about now?
Well, there's a few different trends that we're seeing. Obviously, security is a big trend. So service providers obviously want to protect their perimeter of their data centers. They're looking for various detection and mitigation solutions. So A10 has been providing over the past, I'd say, 4 years, some products and solutions to really help detect and mitigate large-scale multi-vector attacks. And these would cover volumetric attacks, application layer attacks, and protocol attacks.
What about IP4 address exhaustion? Is that still an issue? I mean, we've been hearing about it for as long as I can remember.
You know, I just mentioned I've been with the company for about 7 years, and we started releasing our carrier-grade NAT products just before I joined A10. So it's been very steady over the past 7 years. Now, as you can imagine, as you indicated with the V4 exhaustion, that was a problem obviously over the last year. Prior to that, I did a lot of work with service providers as they prepared for this inevitable problem.
Right.
But the real sales came outside of the U.S. where these service providers experienced this problem over the IPv4 exhaustion years ago. Now, over the last year, we've noticed a lot of activity here in the U.S. with service providers. So they early on went through a lot of different testing and trial stages. Now they're actually at a purchasing stage, both for IPv4 preservation and IPv6 migration.
Very cool. Analytics is another area where we've seen a lot of attention over the last maybe 3 or 4 years. Seems like, is there any fire to go with the smoke now? I mean, is that something which people are really implementing?
Absolutely. I would have to say over the last 12 to 18 months, we've had a lot of requests from our customers, and again, our large service provider customers, about the ability to collect analytics and to also have the capability to export them to third-party systems.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Now, when you think about A10, I mentioned application delivery and some of the security products we have, and clearly carrier-grade NAT. Our products are generally right between the user and the applications. So we've already do a lot of deep packet inspection just to provide our services, but we have the ability to collect a lot of that data to utilize that for our own services, and again, to provide those to third party. So many of our large service provider customers have been kind of reminding us over the years that you guys process a lot of traffic, we make a lot of decisions on that traffic, but we want more and more analytics out of them.
Right.
So we are starting to even expand further on that across all the product sets that we have today.
Okay. You just made a pretty important acquisition, A10. Was that a reaction to something that you were seeing from the service provider customers? Were you buying a capability that you felt that service providers needed? So
it's actually just a great acquisition for A10. So A10, if you're not familiar with that, provides a very versatile software as a service, a cloud-native application delivery type model. So that'll be beneficial to both service providers and to our enterprise customers, depending upon if they're putting their applications in public cloud, private cloud, or also utilizing the on-premise data center or virtualized data center. So that really rounds out the A10 application delivery portfolio, because you've known over the years we've had hardware products, we've had various software offerings with both virtual machine, bare metal, but this gives us an opportunity to have more of a cloud-based controller that allows us to provide these services directly in public and private clouds.
So what does it actually do? Does it handle sort of the microservices piece of it? So this is for virtualized services, obviously.
That is correct. So when we look at the trends now, we're seeing that as applications are moving from the traditional data center, these more monolithic architecture of applications are moving towards the microservices and containers.
Right.
These are all cloud-native type applications. So our customers are looking at different ways to really consume the application delivery.
Right.
Now, there still will be supporting applications on-premise with the existing data center, so there's a nice idea of having a hybrid solution to control both public clouds, private clouds, and on-premise. But overall, The idea would be is that if you're going to take advantage of a public cloud and kind of rent infrastructure, rent compute cycles, wouldn't it make sense to also rent the services like security and application delivery? So it's a very cost-effective solution. And again, the goal for A10 is to make sure that we offer a lot of choices for our customers, depending upon their existing products and where they're moving applications.
So Brian, finally, what can we expect from A10 in the future?
So we will continue to develop our application delivery, our security products, and our carrier-grade NAT. We'll continue to add to already a deep feature set that we have, for example, in our application delivery. We'll continue to really integrate the Appsito acquisition or the cloud services controller. So our thought would be is that more of a hybrid cloud future that customers will be able to have public and private clouds, have their applications there, and maybe have either other applications or pieces of applications that are sitting in a private cloud or on-premise data center. So the idea being is that they can have a centralized area to control all the clouds. They can control their management, centralized statistics or the analytics, and also have centralized policy enforcement. So that's an area we want to get to. Today we offer solutions for customers to support on-premise, either hardware or software-based solutions that we have. And again, we talked a little bit about the Appsito with the ADC as a service type offering. But we think it's very important to integrate that into one solution so customers have a complete choice of products and they can support both at the same time, meaning more of a hybrid cloud solution.
I mean, it's interesting how A10 has flexed its product line and its model to conform with the needs of customers over the last 10 or more years, isn't it? Because actually, I think that the cloud environment, it's almost like the market is coming to you, isn't it? Because you can act as a pivot within that cloud, which provides a sort of a linkage between everything that the service provider needs to do.
Yes, and the service providers, obviously, along with the large enterprise, have been looking for different areas to place their applications, meaning building private clouds, looking to take advantage of public clouds for bursting or portions of their applications. So we've seen this trend for quite some time. So we've always had some virtualized offerings, even utilizing some of our hardware, taking advantage of our open REST-based API that we've had from day one, integrating into cloud-based platforms like OpenStack, into SDN environments. So we've had that framework in place for years now. And I think the goal is just to make sure that we offer more and more choices or different consumption models for customers just to make it easier for them.
And do it at carrier class.
And do that obviously at a carrier class, both with support and products that we've always had.
Fantastic. Brian, thank you so much for coming in and giving us a quick overview of the company. It sounds like you're having a great time.
Oh, we are,
All
yes.
Cheers. Nice
Thank
to
you
see
very
you.
much. I appreciate
Cheers.
your time.
Thank you.